basic elements are already discussed, and we need to look at outputs that can be generated through GIS. There are a few generic questions. Elaborations will follow. Spatial data deals with the location, and GIS address questions concerning the what and where of data. The illustration shows a simple map marked on its edges with latitude and longitude ticks within bracket small marks representing coordinate values in degrees. On the map there are several features, two types of lines like paved and unpaved roads, and three shapes X, Y and Z, which might be in agriculture areas or inhabited areas. The first question demands a coordinate system. Where is future X? Is answered by making horizontal and vertical coordinate points and answering according to the given system. 3 degrees south and 12 degrees east. On the flip side of the question, the location might be given and the future is to be identified. The location asked is 5 degrees south and 11 degrees east, which when followed to where they cross on the map arrive at future Y. Do you follow? We want to derive Y through a stage of queries. Location is the fundamental characteristics of spatial data, and GIS considers positions directly, that is site, and indirectly, that is situation. It gives the site a site specific place in terms of coordinate system and the situation, that is relative position using the surroundings. Location is a principal aspect of GIS data. Once you have arrived at locations, then you have to measure. Measurements is relatively easy in GIS, and several types of spatial measurement analysis can be achieved, typically using automatic or built-in functions of the software. These are shown in the top portion of the illustration. Distance. Measuring the length from one point to another usually requires one definition of the points, that is pointing at the beginning and end. Most GIS give real world distance such as kilometers. Second, perimeter. Getting the distance around features may be very few cases, often requiring only selection of the item and reading the value from the database. Third, area and site. Like perimeter, GIS can automatically calculate and store the spatial extent of each feature. Other types of spatial measurements and relationships may be available. These deal with neighborhood characteristics and distance. Three of the most common are presented in the illustration. Fourth, adjacency or contiguity. What is the next to or near a given feature or category of features? In the illustration, feature B is adjacent to A and C is adjacent to B, but C is not adjacent to A. These features could be almost any type of data found on the map. Fifth, connectivity. Physical connection is an important spatial characteristic for many applications. What is actually connected to features can be calculated. In the illustration, B is connected to A, but C is not connected to anything. Sixth, proximity. As in adjacency, distance is an important spatial factor of the position of features. The minimum distance that constitutes proximity, that is spatial association or nearness, can be defined. Therefore, features within certain distance and positions are calculated. In the illustration, the distance from C has been set at 2 km and only feature B has the required proximity. An attribute is a description of a feature or a characteristic of it. An attribute can be a non-spatial aspect of spatial data, such as name, classification or color. Attributes may be quantitative, that is numeric, or qualitative, that is like good, bad, etc. The illustration shows a small database in tabular form with 6 agriculture properties, numbers 1 through 6, and their attributes of area, owner, tax code, and soil quality. A database is a storehouse. You can take what you like and when you want, and you choose, and in any form like graph or table or text. It is a very convenient and efficient way to manage attribute data. In a database, rows are called records, in this case for each property, and the column or attributes or fields. A common question called generic in the illustration asks the attributes of a given feature, such as what are the attributes of property 2. The answer is outlined in the by dashed line with its area of 50,100 hectares, owner Vale, tax code A, and medium soil quality. Another easy question is about location of certain attributes or conditions and where they exist. For example, who owns high soil quality properties? The procedure is to browse the soil quality field, that is column, and then match all highs with the owner field. Vinod and Raj, the only high soil quality property owners. The lower illustration is the same database. It shows a special type of question called site suitability. Suitability means the conditions or filters you apply. There may be sets of conditions to find the most suitable site meeting your condition fully or partly or poorly. You define the most suitable property or properties meeting conditions like area over 40,000 hectares, owner who is anyone but X or Y. The choice of X or Y is up to you. Tax code of B and high soil quality. A relational database can relate one field or set of records with another. In this site suitability example, the database selects those records meeting conditions in one field and then moves into the next field, relating the previous selection to the records in the new field. Step 1 will be selection of area, and from that list all records meeting the over 40,000 hectare condition with a given query. Next step will be able to execute X or Y and then search owners in the list B tax code or selected, followed by selection of high soil quality attribute. The query will let you know what meets the criteria specified. All map features have spatial relationships of various types. Some are easy to see with the eye, like a river and a distance to a road network, but not all of the relationships. GIS comes handy to identify them. Have a relook at 3 relationships are presented in the illustration. Some GIS may answer the following types of questions directly. Some require work from the operator involving logical steps. Eventually, GIS can extract desired results. Please note that the numbers correspond to the illustration. Number 1. Does feature X occur in a pattern? Examine feature X could be a vegetation type occurring in a line pattern. Do you recognize they are running from upper left to lower right? To a trained eye, it may be easy to see the patterns in the simple map, but always consider end user in mind who may not be of your skill level. A complex multiple feature landscape requires GIS for you and user to easily understand. Number 2. Is there a relationship between X and Y? Again, your eye can reveal that Y is always very close to X. Also, it may be because Y position changing in a pattern from one x to the other. Do you follow this spatial relationship? From this spatial relationship, the operator may learn functional association. For example, if x and y are the always together, consider y. There may be an important reason for any linkage. You will have other questions. From answering them, you with GIS may discover new answers. Number 3. What other spatial or functional pattern exist? We can see that feature Z is always near the border and recognize that in fact it increases in size from west to east or decrease size east to west. Also it seems to have a zigzag location pattern, up and down pattern. Is it mere coincidence? And if you design use GIS, you might discover that reason and the phenomena behind it. Spatial patterns and relationships are important characteristics suitable for GIS exploration. Consider cartography to computer visuals, you will appreciate advantage. In the previous illustration, some spatial trends were discovered. When time is added, temporal relating to time, trends can be considered. Today is not yesterday and tomorrow will again be a new entity. If something changes in a predictable manner in a given amount of time, it might be changed in a similar way in another identical time increment, or in other words, the linearity of feature. In the illustration, two landscapes are viewed over a 10-year period, 1980 to 1990. Change is the changeless phenomena, and all you have to do is to identify the trends of change and be prepared to face them. GIS can reveal, guide and plan for future. How did item, that is features A, B and C change from 1980 to 1990? A is increased in size. A built up land area may have increased. B, decreased size and changed positions. A water body may have shrunken in size. C, changed shape, but size remained about the same, though that can be determined exactly by GIS if needed. A township layout may have witnessed changes. Another view of the question, what changed since 1980? A and B changed in size, B changed location, C changed shape, D was added. Here consider new infrastructure caused by expansion. GIS can aid you to visualize catchy. GIS can enable you for change management. GIS can help you predict and redress plan of growth. The high power of computers now permits the advanced analysis called modeling. Models are representative version of the world and the process. Models summarize data and analysis to make general statement on the way things exist and operate. They help to reduce data clutter and to reveal generalizations. Illustrated is the simple generalized model of an agriculture area. At the top of the illustration, titled data is a map of what the initial data reveal, specific crop and vegetation types and detailed spatial configurations of the fields. At the bottom of the illustration is a simplified mode, generalized land cover and spatial pattern. All crops have been recorded and combined into the category agriculture, and all non-agriculture plant growth has been collected under vegetation. The small twists and turns of boundaries have been smoothened to general shapes. This generalization serves to simplify the landscape for additional comparison and analysis. Both versions of the landscape may be useful. The original data are beneficial to detailed and highly accurate study, whereas the generalized model is useful for other purposes, such as categorizing broad area of land. When you model a phenomena say agriculture patterns, you have to look at governing parameters and identify the present pattern and future likelihoods. GIS helps to discover and create a spatial models. This illustration shows both spatial and process mode. The illustration shows that is at right hand side a generalization of spatial configuration. The reality of the landscape is on the top map with mountain ranges having odd shapes and rivers flowing in their real paths. The illustration left side is a model, a spatial simplification or generalized reality picture. The mountains and rivers have been given geometric shapes, sometimes a complex pattern such as river patterns here are clear and better understood. The illustration left shows use of the model in trying to understand what would happen under various conditions. This is a what if scenario or condition. The map is a repeat and explanation of the landscape model used in the illustration. Note that the long stream routes around a mountain range and the other streams fed directly into it. The illustration shows what the landscape might look like if the central mountain were located further east. The hydrology would be different and obviously resultant landscape effect would be different, such as vegetation distribution and topography. These type of what if GIS models are useful in trying to evaluate landscape changes under various conditions, though we seldom move entire mountain ranges. The cultural landscape is highly dynamic, that is changing, and modeling can be an important tool in land use planning. Environmental management is a strong application of GIS modeling. GIS can provide a variety of products. Monitor display is the most common, obviously because it is used constantly in GIS work. Maps are the most standard output format, but frequently are accomplished by statistics along with tabular data listing records and other data and reports to detail the project. Digital products are becoming more common due to efficient delivery and easy incorporation into the user computer. A few general statements can be made that are important in understanding GIS technology and application and their place in society. GIS is used in many fields and fulfills numerous roles in connection with its application within those fields. GIS is multidisciplinary. It is not just a geography tool or just a piece of computer science equipment, but belongs to and is used by a variety of academic disciplines and applications. It is also equally useful and important to many business and government agencies. GIS is not confined to a single compartment of knowledge or to one branch of education, but is truly universal in its utility. The world is holistic. Few processes or activities in nature or culture are isolated and independent of all others. GIS is an ideal technology to use in dealing with diverse processes. As noted, GIS is much more than a computer system and that it plays several roles. We can say that GIS is a technology. GIS is a system of hardware, software, peripherals, associated equipment and people. GIS is a methodology. GIS is an approach to managing and analyzing spatial and associated non-spatial data. GIS has led to new ways of accomplishing many traditional and innovative tasks, allowing us to take a different approach to solving problems. GIS is a profession. As a new field, there is a demand for GIS specialists, thereby making it new profession or career. GIS operation is far more than a technical skill to be mastered by technicians or scientists. Because of the wide range of its application and the breadth of knowledge it encompasses, GIS is a field of developing into a distinct profession. The third generation of GIS specialist is beginning to appear. The GIS professional helps to integrate a variety of needs and many types of data and supplies the technical know-how to make GIS work. GIS is a business. Many new businesses have taken advantage of the rapidly growing commercial aspects of GIS to offer hardware, software, data service and other marketable items. GIS consulting and services are growing rapidly.